scientific propaganda. All right, this is what is going on. But all one needs to do is rise above this smothering blanket. Think. So the Catholic Church, called so-called Mother Church, because they acknowledge and worship Mother Mary, especially say that it's wrong and dangerous for man to do his own thinking. This is the first thing that we know is wrong. And he will always go astray and reach the wrong conclusions. And so the church contends that it should do all the thinking, and its members should accept its dogma without question, as they are infallible. But yet, if you go and do the research and study on the Catholic Church over the last 1,200 years, you can see that they're not infallible. All right, they're not. Matter of fact, they have serious problems. And one is attempting to suppress the sexual energy in which that becomes perverted, in which that produces what's called pedophilia. And the Catholic Church is running rampant with pedophilia. Every time we turn around, there's a bishop or priest of theirs in which that is going through some type of nonsense as such. All right, we just seen a video this past week of a cop molesting a 17-year-old. And this was on video. All right, so this is the nonsense for those who have a this type of religion. Now, understand, when we talk about religion, we talk about the established orthodox exoteric, the external. Spelled wrong. You know, so this is the problem. Now, it was Egypt or Kemet, or as we say, Tamari or Tamaray, that led the way in giving shape in its religion and through the metronatural. It was Egypt or Kemet, or as we say, Tamari or Tamaray. That so to man's awareness, the material and spiritual, natural and ethnical duality of this world, they explained it. And so the Kemetic or Tamarian Egyptian philosophy was partly assimilated by the surrounding community, by the Syrians, by the Phoenicians, by the Minoans, Cretans, who become known as the Greeks, reaching the latter nations largely through secret societies. All right, this is what happened. Now, this information, all right, comes by way of us being able to tap our mental, our minds, which actually extends the whole gambit of what we refer to as the universe. And the universe, according to the Nation Islam teachings and according to the Nation Gods on Earth teaching, is 76 quintillion miles in diameter. All right? And it's filled with what we refer to as 9 ether, which is the most potent power in all the boundless universes. So 9 ether is the original creator, all right, who grows or grew all the universes. From out of that, these 9 ether beings utilize the forces that yield energy, versing energies into one form. That's why it's called the universe, or uni, meaning uni or unis, one, and verse meaning vertere, to turn a spiral, and spiraling outwards from a single point. And spiral is the same word as spirit, which means breath. So you have centrifugal force and centrifugal force, push and pull. Right, so creation from this word means creare, which means to bring forth or create, produce, to cause and to grow. So meaning growth into form or system. So when we talk about creation, that's what we're talking about, how it was grown. All right, so destruction means change in the form of composition. This is why we say that we build and destroy. All right, so we know that non-ether is conscious, and it's conscious gases. All right, it's conscious gases. So there's no coincidence that this 9 symbol represents life, and our 9, which means to be born or bring a thing into existence, it is also the highest number in mathematics, right? So that is the original or primary creation, and primus, which primary come from, means first. So before the lightest atom, which would be hydrogen, energies existed as a form of energy existing in the form of gases. And basically there's 9 levels of them, from the quark to the biaps to the zidane or zelis, refer to the subatomic energy of particles, electrons, the neutrons, as well as also the protons. So before the weight or sum of any weight registered as nothingness, yet existed, all right, being the lightest from the first atom or the first form of existing hydrogen. All right, that is what's going on. All right, so we talk about what we refer to now as dark energy. All right, and dark matter. All right, dark energy and dark matter. All right, and then we talking about the portion in which that we are able to see, which is what we refer to as the visible spectrum of the light spectrum, which is basically of everything that we can see, touch, taste, smell. All right, and hear. Because we know that 70% is dark energy, and about 26% is dark matter, and then everything else, including all stars, planets, us, is about 4%. All right, so this is no coincidence that we see the same thing, in the King James Bible, the 45th chapter of Isaiah, starting at the 3rd verse, and it says, "And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, and thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which calls thee by thy name, am the God of Israel." And then you go down to the 7th, it says, "I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things." So this is symbolic to this dark matter or antimatter, all right? And basically what we see here, all right? So that's what we have to come to the understanding on. All right, so we know that NASA discovered antimatter even in the Earth atmosphere. All right, this is something that they have just discovered not too long ago. This is recent. Now that's deep. That is real deep. That they have discovered, this. So when we're looking at it, we're looking at something in which that the whole universe is composed almost completely of dark energy and dark matter, and what we refer to as original or ordinary matter. Right? It's not original in that sense, but ordinary matter. So we have that, the other contents are electromagnetic radiation, which is estimated to be about 0.005% close to 0.01%. And then antimatter, right? So the total amount of the electromagnetic radiation generated within the universe has decreased actually from 1.5 to in the past 2 billion years, right? This is what it says, all right? And that's deep because we're looking at things changing, all right? Because dark matter is hypothetically known as matter that is invisible to the entire energy spectrum or electromagnetic spectrum, all right? Which accounts for most of the matter in the universe. So basically the existence and properties of dark matter are inferred from the gravitational effects of visible matter, large scale structure of the universe. All right, so dark matter is estimated to constitute basically about 26.8% of the total mass and 84.5% of the total matter in the universe, right? This is how some break it down. And so that's important to understand. So that basically means that the remaining 4.9% of the mass energy of the universe is ordinary matter. And that is what we refer to as the atoms, the ions, the electrons, and the objects they form. So this matter includes stars, which produce nearly all the light we see from galaxies, as well as interstellar gas, you know, basically the mass energy density of the universe. You know, that's the 10% of the ordinary matter that's contribute to it. Ordinary matter commonly exists in 4 states, all right, which is solid, liquid, gas, and then of course you have plasma, which we refer to within occult as ether, all right? However, advance in there's I guess you could say experimental techniques and theoretic phases that has come forth, such as the Bose-Einstein condensations and the fermionic condensations. Those two are theoretic, you know, the advanced portion of what they call the experimental techniques that that has revealed these particular stages. Now, ordinary matter is also composed of 2 types of particles, quarks and leptons. All right. For example, the proton is formed of two up quarks and 1 down quark. All right, and a neutron is formed from 2 down quarks and 1 up quark. All right, and I won't get into all of that because I'm getting a little bit too scientific here, but this is what's going on. Now, in the occult, what we refer to as dark matter, dark energy, or black energy, and as well as ether, or aether, which is plasma. You have the 3 sciences, occult sciences or teachings, which call it Ein, Ein Sof, and Ein Sophie All right, Ein Sof, which is as in Sophia, Sophie, and Ein Sophie all right? So you have limitless, then Ein, which is Ein, then you have Ein Sof, which is the limitless light, and Ein Sof is the limitless and wisdom, and Ein Sof is the limitless wisdom light, right? So you have these 3. This breaks down to the black matter, the dark energy, the black matter, as well as also to ether or plasma. All right. Now, we find out that this Ein Sof, the limitless, Ein Sof the limitless light, created an artificial light within herself, who was called Adalabroth. All right. Right. Adalabroth. Right. This is where you get the Sophia from, or Soph, where you get the word Sufi from, also within Arabic. Now, there is something outside of this realm. All right. It's called the Resimu, and basically the limitless light. Resimu allows for the creation of form, like humans. All right. Now, that is how Adalabroth was able to form us and put us together, essentially. And then you have another form of Adalabroth, which is of these thought forms in which that have attached themselves to those who are open up to them, especially those who have less melanin and has what is called the RH factor. They're able to be more open to these particular entities, attachments, or possessions. All right. And this is what is really going on here. You know, I won't go so much into it, you know, because we ain't trying to deal, as we say, with quote unquote the so-called spookiness. But let's just say this, is that there's many worlds. All right, there's many worlds, and the average person need to pay attention, because the communication between yourself and the ancestors is within, number one. But be aware of your thoughts, pay attention to your dreams, observe the animals that appears in your, right? Look at the signs and the symbolism and the synchronicities. The synchronicities that occurs day to day, right? Because this is where you're gonna find the messages for your life that is needed for you. So you have to pay attention, all right? And we recommend that you pay attention, you know, based on everything in which that we just spoke about, everything that you see, all right? Everything that you see, hear, touch, taste. Even then, there's higher levels to those. Most people are just caught up into the lower level. All right, they're just caught up into those particular things. But there's also basically for sight, there's clairvoyance. For hearing, there's clairaudience. For taste, there's clairgustance. For touch, there's psychchemistry. And for smell, there's clairsentience. All right. We have to extend our average, ordinary understanding, you know, and extraordinary isn't a good word either, based on the fact that you already have ordinary, and then extraordinary means actually something even worse than ordinary. All right. And ordinary just simply means plain, for lack of a better term. Okay. It just means plain. So how will we know that we're dealing with allegory here? Because even Masonry says, some Mason defines Freemasonry as a beautiful system of morality veiled in allegory and illustrated by symbols, and also all the realization of God by the practice of brotherhood, to reach God by doing good work to your brother or to your neighbor. All right. So this is something in which that is said. All right. If you go to the King James Version, Galatians, I think it's the 4th chapter, the 20, I think it's the started at the 22nd verse to the 26th verse, something like that. But basically, it says that Abraham had 2 sons. It was one by a bond maid and the other one by a free woman. But the one was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh. The free woman was by promise. And it says specifically which things are an allegory. Which things are an allegory. So that means if Abraham, his wife Sarah, his other wife Hagar, which is Heru, the Egyptian deity, if this is the allegory, then this is something in which that we have to look at. All right? Because even the Holy Quran, if you get the Abdullah Yusuf Ali version, you get Surah 3, which is our I think it's Al-Idram, which is the family of Idram, which is the house of Idram. I think it's the 7th ayat. So this is basically, I think, Surah 3 and ayat 7. It says, basically, it is who has sent down to thee the book. In it, verses basic or fundamental or established meaning. They are the foundation of the book. Others are allegorical. Now, why is the Bible and now the Quran, which is 73% of the Bible, the Quran is 73% of the Bible, the other 27% comes from the Avesta Ven, or the Ven Avesta, which is the Zoroastrian text, come from the lost books of the Bible and forgotten books of Eden, the Apocrypha. That's where the other 27% comes from. But those in whose heart is perversity follows the part thereof that is allegorical, seeking discord and searching for its hidden meanings, but no one knows its hidden meanings except Allah. And those who are firmly grounded in knowledge say, we believe in the book, the whole of it is from our Lord, and none will grasp the message except men of understanding. So it is saying right here that is portion of allegorical. What does the word allegorical mean? It says symbolic work, a work in which the characters and events are to be understood and represented or representing other things and symbolically expressing a deeper, often spiritual, moral, or political meaning. It says further, right? Now you can go and look up the definition. You can use Webster Merriam Dictionary or Merriam-Webster Dictionary online. And it says deeper. Check this out. Deeper meaning that a story or scene acted out by humans, animals, or mythical characters. Mythical characters. Genre. It says allegory is considered as a literary or artistic genre. Now, it goes on. All right? It says a short moral story, often with animal characters. It's just like the Aesop stories. Everybody remember the Aesop stories as a child? The Aesop stories, right? A visible symbol representing an abstract idea. Now, number 3 is the deep joint. It says an expression style that uses fictional characters, fictional characters and events to describe some subject, by suggestive resemblance in extended metaphor. Now, we have to look at that and see. When I ask Muslims that, when I ask, Christians that, what are the allegories in the Bible? Now, if Abraham is an allegory, then that would mean that Jesus and Muhammad will have to be an allegory, because Jesus and Muhammad claim to be from the bloodline of Abraham. But if Abraham is the allegory, which is a fictional character, that would mean that they too could not have existed. So that means that it would have to have been a name that was utilized by someone who did exist. All right? That's what that means. But regardless on if it was a name by someone who did exist, the Bible tells you, 1 Corinthians 3:16, that do you not know that your body, or which is, that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwells in you? And if anyone defiles the temple of God, God will destroy him, for the temple of God is holy, which temple you are. So regardless of somebody else's temple, or if someone else came in order to set the record straight 2,000 years ago, 1,400 years ago, it doesn't matter, because you have God within your body right now. What you going to do? 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you from God? And you are not your own, for you was bought at a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. 2 Corinthians 6:16-18. For you are the temple of the living God. And God has said, I will dwell in them and walk among them. I will be their God, and they shall be my people. I will be a father to them, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, say the Lord Almighty. Now, hold on. All right? This is deep, because you have the Spirit of God in you. You have the Holy Spirit in you. You have God in your body. You have the living God who dwells in them, walk among them. All right? So you can have this attitude overstanding that you're from God, or be possessed and overshadowed by a jinn or shadow being or spirit or spiritual entity, fallen angel, referred to as a reptilian, attached to your first and second chakra from the first and second overtone level of the fourth dimension. All right, your choice. But 2 Corinthians 13:5 says, do you not know yourself that Jesus Christ is in you? So once again, that's everything that we're talking about here. That's the whole Holy Trinity right there. All right, that's the whole Holy Trinity. The Spirit of God, which is the Holy Spirit. All right, remember we read 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you? Then it goes on to say God in your body. Then it goes and say Jesus Christ is in you. So if you're looking for a man from 2,000 years ago to come back and save you, obviously this is talking about an awakening that you must do within yourself. And by this awakening, which is the return of the Messiah, all right, or the awakening of the Ancient One, all right, this is what you must do, all right? So this have to be overstood, all right? Now that's how simple it is. Now you can do what you can do some other things here, and think all these negative thoughts and become possessed by these jinns or, these entities. But we already know that God is already within you, but you choose not to use the God within you. Rather, you choose to externalize and make everything literal and historical, and therefore you become an open vessel for that possession, for something else to come and walk into you or come and attach itself to you through your auric field based on your thought process, based on you creating thought forms. All right? That's what's going on. So we recommend that you do some more research and understand what the Gnostics were saying. All right? The Gnostics were saying these particular verses that I just read are from Gnostic texts. All right? Because they knew that the soul was within you. Your soul, as the French philosopher Descartes states, the soul is this, the pineal gland is the seat of the soul. Right? The pineal gland is the seat of the soul. It's just that simple. All right? Now, what is that? Well, we know that the atoms of our bodies are traceable to stars, and they manufacture themselves in their cores and explode these enriched ingredients across our galaxy billions of years ago. And for this reason, we are biologically connected to every other living thing in the world. We are chemically connected to all molecules on Earth. And we are atomically connected to all atoms in the universe. We are not figuratively, but literally stardust. Now, Neil deGrasse Tyson, astrophysicist. Where are we now? He tells you the same thing. Right? So the knowledge that the atom that comprises life on Earth, this is what he says. He says that knowledge that the atom that comprises life on Earth, the atom that makes up the human body, are traceable to the crucial that cook light elements in heavy elements in their core under extreme temperatures and pressures. These stars, the high mass ones among them, went unstable in their later years, then collapsed and then exploded, scattering their enriched guts across guts made of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and all the fundamental ingredients of life itself. These ingredients became part of a gas cloud that condensed, collapsed, and formed the next generation of solar systems, stars, who orbited planets with orbiting planets. And those planets now have the ingredients for life itself. So that's when I look up at the night sky and I know, yes, we are part of this universe. We are in the universe. But perhaps most importantly than both of these facts is that the universe is in us. When I reflect on that fact, I look up. Many people feel small because they small and the universe is big. But I feel big because the atoms came from those stars. Now, this is what he says. All right? And he goes on and say something else. This is from Death by Black Holes and Other Cosmic Quandaries. Right? He says, so you made of detritus from exploding stars. Get over it. Or better yet, celebrate it. After all, what noblest thought can one cherish than the universe lives within us all? Not only do we live among the stars live within us. All right? This is what he says. All right. So this is phenomenal because we have a quantum physicist bearing witness to the same thing that we just read within the scriptures. That the Spirit of God is within you. Jesus Christ is within you. God is within you. That is the Holy Trinity. That is the Holy Trinity. All right. He says something else that's important too. All right. He says there are many atoms in a single molecule of your DNA, as there are stars in a typical galaxy. We are, each of us, a little universe. Right? This is him talking about the cosmos. All right. So he goes in on this information. And this is really what metaphysics and what esoteric teachings or esoteric sciences and occult teachings really is supposed to provide you. All right. He says everything we call real is made of things that cannot be regarded as real. In quantum mechanics, has it profoundly shocked you? You haven't understood it yet. All right. And why he says that is because of what we just talked about, that this is phenomenal stuff. All right. This is what he's saying. All right. Let me see. For those that needs to call in, have any questions, give us a call at 563-999-3738. That's 563-999-3738. All right. Let me go back to Brother L. Sorry, Brother L. Are you here?
Yeah, still here, brother.
All right, all right. You got anything to add to anything that we've gone over so far?
Oh yeah, like you're saying about the esoteric and the symbolic and allegory. I was telling one sister, I said, once you understand allegory, symbolism, and esoteric science, the Bible, the Holy Quran, the Torah, the Bhagavad Gita, those things, you will find those books fascinating.
Right.
You find those are fascinating books.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's all you have to do. You know, because she was complaining about she didn't understand the Bible, she don't leave the Bible alone,
right,
and she just gonna deal with other stuff that's simple to her. I said, no, I said, you need to understand the esoteric science and allegory and symbolism.
Right, right. She do.
So once you understand that, the Bible will be nothing for you to read.
Right.
But to understand.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. I
agree.
agree.
I mean, a lot of books I wouldn't be able to understand if it wasn't for understanding metaphysics. Let me say a similar allegory, you know, other books like the Bible, the hidden wisdom of the Bible by Godfrey, what's his name?
Godfrey Higgins.
I think it was Godfrey's name. Two books.
Right.
Two parts of that.
Right. You talking about Godfrey Higgins? Bible. Right. Godfrey Higgins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's him.
Right.
And you know, the book like even your Freemasonry.
Right.
You know, you have to understand ceramics, allegory, you know, really to understand the book, especially the book Morals and Dogma. That most other Masons have a hard time dealing with.
Right.
That's because they don't teach real esoteric or real Masonry in the Masonic order.
Right.
And they really don't. They just study what they just deal with rituals. Mm-hmm. You know, but we don't really ask them why certain people in these certain stations, you know, what do they represent? They can't tell you. whereas cosmologically or esoterically, or any of that.
That's deep. So they're just practicing so basically they just doing superstition. Right. That's no difference than a Muslim who prays 5 times a day and make his salats, and don't know the reason for the yoga positions and what they do for him or for her, or or a Christian who prays but yet don't know the science of meditation. So you put out a call, but then you're not going to sit still in order to receive the answer. So I mean, yeah, there's some problems that is going on here. So yeah, we have to correct this.
Yeah.
We have to correct this.
Yeah, the Holy Quran, and you got to talk to some Muslims, even in the Nation of Islam and other Muslim sects.
Right.
They don't want to hear it, man. But to try to understand the Quran, that's why do you ask them why you hear about the sun? Why do they talk about the sun and moon and stars so much?
Right.
And they really can't really answer the question.
No, they can't. Right, they can't. Because in one sense, they've been taught not to go into astrology, but yet it's throughout the whole lesson. It's on the flag. It's in portions of the question and answering by Elijah Muhammad to Master Farah Muhammad, where Elijah Muhammad had to answer the question nearly 100% right and exact, about what? He had to answer specifically about a Holy Quran. And what is a Holy Quran? 25,000 year renewal of history. Well, if they didn't get that science, then something's wrong, because the sun goes through the 12 zodiac signs every 25,000 years or so. So what is that talking about? That is talking about astrology. What does the word Holy Quran mean? The word holy means helios or halo, which is sun. And the word what? Or haru or heru, which means sun. And then, Holy Quran. Quran comes from the word chronos. The Greco-Latin word chronos. And what is chronos? Chronos is chronology, which means time. So sun time, sun chronicles, a chronicle of time by what? By the sun. That's what Holy Quran means. So they answered, so that was right and exact. But once again, if you don't know the symbology and the allegory, you won't get it. You just read it. Oh yeah, this is 25,000 year renewal of history. 25, and that's all you do is parrot and repeat that over and over again, but yet have no full understanding or knowledge of what you repeat. And that's the reason for metaphysics and for esoteric sciences and occult teachings, is for you to understand the higher mysteries in this.
That's it. How many people know what the 3 wise men are based on?
Right.
Based on the Orion belt.
Right, exactly. The 3 stars in Orion's belt. Exactly. And they wouldn't know that, because they wouldn't know that the ancient Egyptians was trying to follow what we state within the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. With them, that's as above, so below, as within, so without. We're looking for that kingdom to come where? To earth, as it is in heaven. So if I'm looking at the stars in the heavens, I'm going to put or bring to earth. That is symbolic to what happened with the ancient Kemites or Temerians or Temerians, Egyptians. They was bringing heaven to earth. And they did that by way of putting forth those 3 pyramids on the Giza Plateau, as well as across the world. You find that same pattern in Cambodia. You find that same pattern in China, in what's called the Xi'an province. You'll find that same pattern in Mexico, in Americas, in Peru. You know, that same 3 stars or that same 3 pyramid layout. That is no coincidence. That is no coincidence.
No, it's not.
But once again, the average person wouldn't know this. They wouldn't have an idea. Would they, Brother L?
No, they wouldn't.
And that's a shame. That's the shameful part of this. And this is the reason why we tell people to study metaphysics, esoteric sciences, and occult teachings, because this is what you are being controlled with and by. All right? This is no, look, we talked about what Neil deGrasse Tyson spoke about. DeGrasse Tyson spoke about how we are stars. He's not just joking. More than 90% of our physical body or body mass is in fact stardust, because all the elements except for hydrogen and helium are created in stars. Okay? There's hundreds of billions of, right. You know, so our physical body is composed of this. Okay? And that's why when I read 1 Corinthians 6, 19, 20, or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have from God, and you are not your own, for you was bought at a price, therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. What is that talking about? Well, what price are we talking about? Because Christians believe that this verse is referring to Jesus dying on the cross for us. However, as a metaphysician, we understand that the stars died for us so that we may live. For a star to be born, there is one thing that must happen. A gaseous nebula must collapse. Okay? So you have to thank these dead stars, because without them, you wouldn't be here. The calcium in your bones, the oxygen that you breathe, the iron in your blood was all cooked up in stars that died billions of years ago. All right, and it's no coincidence that 300,000 tons of stardust energy or particles fall to the planet Earth daily. Falls to the planet Earth daily. And you have 76 trillion cells in your body. And one human cell contains 20 billion exponential bits of information. So what that means is that originally we was created with body cells capable of consuming and absorbing 90% of the cosmic forces and light to which we're supposed to be exposed. However, our cells begin to degenerate and deteriorate to 10% capacity or capability. This is where you get now that only 10% of your DNA is active or coding. The other 90% is inactive, non-coding. And you only use 10% of your brain, and the other 90% is unused. And most people don't believe that. They say, oh no, we use 100% of, that's been debunked. No, it hasn't been debunked. The individual that they refer to as a ignorant savant. What is an ignorant savant? An ignorant savant is someone who might be autistic, who has the capability of being able to remember things exactly how it was. They took a brother. He was a savant. He was taken up into a house and shown the city of New York, and came back and drew and painted everything, every skyscraper, exactly where they were from memory. And you want to tell me that you think that you use more than, and you think that you use 100% usage of your brain? Are you out your goddamn mind? You can't obviously tap into your subconscious or superconscious or magnetic or infinite conscious mind. You haven't been taught to. And what caused us to lose this? It's our consumption. What caused us to lose this, or to just be able to, what happened to us deteriorate to just 10% capacity of consumption and absorption of this energy? I'll tell you what happened. We begin to expend and lose our energies through the sexual act. Too much of it. And we weren't doing it in correlation to mathematics. And you get Stephen Chang's book. It's called Stephen Chang. His book is called Tao of Sexology. Tao of Sexology. In that book, he breaks it down that sexually, if you're going to be sexual, it would be based on your age. So for example, if you're 20 years old, that would be times 2 or times 0.2. So 20 times 0.2 means 4.0, which means every 4 days you can have sex and not lose your life force. 30 every 6 days. 40 every 8 days. 50 every 10 days. No, excuse me, every 8 days. Yeah, 50 every 10 days, excuse me. 60 every 12 days. Your life force. However, if you're going in between that and you're not pulling that energy up, like what Grandmaster Sunyata told us, right? For 9 years I sat under him, and he would, and what he would tell us, if you get his book called Jewel in the Lotus by Grandmaster Sunyata Saraswati, he states specifically that you have to raise the energy up during sexual intercourse and circulate that energy. All right? It's called through a microcosmic orbit technique or macrocosmic orbit technique. But he taught us specifically what is known as the cobra breath technique. And you had to be initiated into it in order to get that information. All right? Okay, there we go. I had to recharge this, this computer here. All right, so go and get that information. All right. So the basic thing is this: that when energy is captured, you do that through your melanin, through the melanocytes. All right, your melanocytes have black hole properties. All right, that's what your melanocytes have, is black hole properties. So when the energy is captured, the battery has more energy to use in the body. All right. So melanin can absorb a great amount of energy and yet not produce a tremendous amount of heat when it's absorbed. All right. So when you absorb this energy, and because it can transform harmful energies into useful energy, this basically means that the human being can charge up their melanin. Because melanin possesses the unique ability to absorb various energy sources and convert these absorbed energies into reusable energy. Right? And within Qigong and Tai Chi, there's 3 areas called the treasures, the 3 treasures, in which that you are able to store energy. If you want a long life, then you would store energy at the navel chakra, called the lower dantian. If you want love, compassion, mercy, then you would store energy at the heart chakra. All right, or at the heart. If you want high IQ, then you would store energy at the 3rd eye. All right, creative ideas, so forth and so on. That's where you would store it at. But the masters stored the energy at the lower dantian, which is the abdominal mind or brain, the abdominal brain. Because scientists have found that within the small and large intestines, that there are neurons. And neurons, they thought at one time just existed in the brain. But now they found out that the neurons exist within your abdomen area and also throughout the body at various places, such as also there's neurons in the heart. The heart itself is a thinking apparatus. In fact, the heart is 500 times more more magnetic than even your mind is, your brain. All right, so, and of course, when you store energy in here, in what is called the high dantian, that is known as the upper dantian, or what is called within the Bible in the book of Acts, the upper room. When they say that Jesus came to his disciples in the upper room and he breathed on them and they received the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is talking about you bringing in this chi or key energy, right? And so the mediums that can be used is music, vibration, sound wave, the sun rays, sun heat, light rays. These are the various mediums, and according to Dr. Leon Stein, he says melanin can absorb tremendous quantities of energy of all kinds, including energy from the sunlight, X-ray machines, and energy that is formed within cells during the metabolism of cells. Right? So, in Dr. Frank Barr's theory, he states that matter is shaped and structured by light. That is what I was talking about earlier. That light is talking about ethereal light. Ein Sof Er. All right? And these molecular melanin combinations eat light in order to maintain, expand, and evolve matter. So you want to learn how to evolve spiritually, maintain your health, and expand your consciousness? You must absorb light. You must eat light. You are lumivarius, which means you are a light eater. That's what a melanated being is a light eater. Wesley Snipes did on 1 and 2 specifically of the trilogies of 3 of the movie Blade. He was a day walker. Well, you are a day walker. So the more highly evolved the species, the more complex the biological capacity to use light. So based on your involvement with light, the more you evolve, this matter, you spiritualize. All right. And if you get a book called The Science of Blackness by Hetepu and Yamin, he says this. He says melanin is black to allow the chemical structure to obtain, retain, store, and generate light and sound energy once it contacts the molecule. This light and sound energy permits the African to have a higher level of perception and gives him the ability to communicate with the dead, the spiritual worlds, and the outer space cosmos. Melanin refines the nervous system in such a way that the messages from the brain reaches other outer areas of the body more rapidly in the original people. Now, this is what he says. And that's deep, because now that makes you understand on the reason why, as Dr. Deborah Blair stated in his video, The Metaphysical Analysis of the Coming Catastrophe, he says scientists have blanketed the earth with electrical energies to try to counteract the effects of the changes in the magnetic force field. He says their attempt would be as a single ant trying to hold back the tides of an ocean. Right?
That's right.
Now, Carol Barnes writes in Melanin, the Chemical Key to Black Greatness. He says this. He says melanin gives humans the ability to feel because it is the absorber of all frequencies of energy. Dr. Wilson, Francis Cress Wilson, who just passed this past year, last year, this time, alayhi salam upon her, she writes that since melanin is a superior absorber of all energy, it is essential to establish this understanding of God and all energy. He's saying that they don't believe in God, who's an atheist, and all this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Or anybody who's saying that, you know, that this is spooky, they're retarded. They are spiritually retarded. This is what we're talking about here. Because the fact that the albion or whites lack melanin may also help explain why the view of many non-white people, all right, white people lack spirituality and the capability to tune in and thereby establish harmony and justice. All right. Now, this is specifically for those who came through, who was, I guess you say, chosen. All right. And the ones who were chosen are actually these RH, in particular, the RH negative who came by way of the RHD negative beings, these underground beings, all right? These so-called dinosaurs who evolved, all right? These reptilians, as they passed on, they go to the first and second overtone level of the astral plane, and they attach themselves to these beings. To these individuals who open themselves up, right? I'm gonna keep saying that because this is something that's going on heavily now because our energy is being stolen from us. It's just like on Monster Inc. When you see the monsters come in and these monsters come through the bedroom door and they scare the child and the child screams and they capture the screams and then they take it back to their world to fuel their world and keep their world going. All right. So nevertheless, with all these energies coming into the Earth atmosphere, guess what? We're still light starved, meaning that we are a people who don't get enough natural lights or sun due to working and living indoors under unhealthy artificial light. And we can't help it. That's just what's going on. We got the EMF, which is electromagnetic fields. For example, we got the power lines, the home wiring, the transformer, the radios, televisions, the mobile cordless phones, the cell phones, the microwaves, we have the computers, we have the other electrical appliances, and all of them oscillate at 60 hertz. But guess what? Good cellular health starts at 70 hertz through to 100 hertz. Okay, and once again, you have 76 trillion cells in your body. So they're supposed to be oscillating between 70 hertz to 100 hertz. But yet the appliances in your home all oscillates at 60 hertz. So that means that they are purposely toned down to bring your what? Cellular structure down also, so that you can vibrate to a higher level. This is why meditation, prayer, decrees, positive affirmations, your practice of Qigong, Tai Chi, Reiki, pranic healing, these things are essential in this day and time because it helps you to vibrate at a higher level, all right? Hell, if you don't want to do any of that, just smile down into your organs. Simply just smile. Just smiling send endorphins from your brain, which is that good feeling chemical throughout your body. And how you know that you like starve, and here's some of the symptoms, because you have vitamin D deficiency or calcium deficiency. You have seasonal afflicted disorder, especially this time of year during winter, which is called SAD. You have neurohormonal transmitter disruption. You have depression. You have fatigue. You're irritable. You irritable. You have lowered sex drive, poor food, nutrients absorption, lowered immune functioning, thoughts of suicide. So you need vitamin D. And vitamin D is a natural hormone, or becomes a hormone via you being in the sun. on the average, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a vegan, most of us don't get enough vitamin B. In particular, folic acid, or what's called folate or folic acid, don't get vitamin B12, B6. B vitamins help the body to basically to convert food into energy and produce energy and form red blood cells. So energy production is essential, especially when you're practicing the healing arts. Right? Vitamin B1 is basically needed to help convert the carbohydrates we need into glucose. All right, so vitamin B is needed basically at a cellular level to convert glucose into energy. Vitamin B2, vitamin B3, B5, B6, and biotin, which is vitamin G. All right, so a vitamin B deficiency in any of these vitamins can lead basically to decreased energy production and fatigue and lethargy. All right, so it's necessary in order to get more green leafy vegetables, such as, of course, some say don't use this because they are hybrids, but kale, spinach, broccoli, but of course you can use other green leafy vegetables of your choosing, but also you can do chlorella, spirulina, all right, wheatgrass for those that is not who don't have to worry about wheat tolerance, a tolerance to wheat products. Chickweed. These are other herbs in which that are, high alfalfa, which are high, in chlorophyll. All right. So I'm going to end the discussion for tonight right there, Brother L. Any closing comments, brother?
Yes, brother. Like you did, that's a good one.
All right. Hopefully, people get a chance.
To the next one, brother.
All right, that sounds good.
But if you don't be here, I'll be here for you, though.
All right, well, we're going to be here. And once again, we got our coming event for those that are ready, that want to come, share, participate, learn this higher information. March 17th, March 18th, March 19th. This is for those who are ready to go beyond debates, to go beyond the foolishness that's going on in the conscious community, that's ready to take this thing to a next level. All right? We're not dealing with all that bullshit. We're not dealing with that. We're dealing with high sciences, in order to transform us consciously, the breath, the mind, mastering of the physical body, anatomy. These are the sciences that we are trying to come. We talking about basically spirit transformed from the lower levels of carnal means. All right, we want to be able to go higher in our evolution, mental evolution. When we take evolution, we ain't just talking about physical, we talking about mental evolution. All right, so that's what we want to go towards. So once again, for those that's interested, give us a call at 910-364-9099. That's 910-364-9099 for our March 17th, 18th, and 19th event that will be coming up 3 days. All right, to learn more information, please go to our website, dralimel-bey.com. Go to calendar of events. Calendar of events. Calendars of events. Please go there because it is necessary for you to come on out. All right, I can't stress this enough. All right, to what is going on here on planet Earth for you to get this information. All right, so please check us out. All right, Please check us out. Please come. Please attend. And basically, yo, we love you. And you know, basically, we out, y'all. All right, Brother L, you got any closing statements?
All right.
You out?
Hey, brother, I'll say this. My wife about the Kuda.
All right.
Peace family.
Peace family. All right. Ehate Washington East. Exactly. Thank you. Peace.
Ehate Washington East.
Yeah.
South Shaolin. Classified elements.
We in there.
Color key. White peanut butter jelly. Cool ass niggas.
It's the triple gates, cross the fiery lakes. Guard the animal to animal back to guard. We throw in the streets like Master D for raw. The faggot devils can't fool me. My God is this. In the demons, he's dreaming. With the beta semen, sword swinging, meditated, herbal addicted. Melchizedek moving through 50 states, hurting transmigist with the gods I relate. Mental alchemist, watch love conquer hate. I emanate, but my head's a figure 8. Melchizedek moving through 50 states, hermit transmigist with the gods I relate. Mental alchemist, watch love conquer hate. Above my head's a figure 8. Black man, I got to have it. Take the throne. The Titanic. Melchizedek moving through 50 states. Hermit transmigist with the gods I relate. Mental alchemist, watch love conquer hate. I'm Melchizedek moving through 50 states. With the gods I relate. Watch love conquer hate. Here comes of the ancient one, the Moorish Nagger, the Dragon Rider, a breathing fire. Generator, operator, destroyer, a self-lord and master, a Kama Sutra, instructor the Tantra, a Kriya Yoga, the Kundalini, the Resurrector, Shushuna, the Eater, Pingala, waking the 7th chakra to come the avatar, Muhammad the Conqueror, put swords to your jugular, send you to the ethers, the earth air fire bender, the earth ruler, usher in a new era. I swear with terror. Eerie sounds of horror, reflection crack mirrors, minds made feeble, dreams crumble, the curse tremble, thieves in the temple, raise your mental beyond the 4 devils, you whack motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? All you goddamn cool niggas out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's not put that fucking work around them goddamn throats. You know what I'm saying? Because you're getting all this goddamn hip hop. That's why hip hop dead, motherfuckers. Yeah. Peace. Oh yeah, check us out Friday for those who want to join the think tank. We'll be having going on. Email me at Alim El-Bey@gmail.com. That's the think tank. It's for the thinkers who ready to do some action. But first, we got to think first. All right. So we're going to try to bring together all of the components that we can galvanize, and then we can make some proper moves as a people. All right. So join us this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Give us a call at 910-364-9099 if you're interested, or email me at dralim-el-bey@gmail.com. Peace. We out.